You can't look back. You can't go back to your old self, your old habits. This is meant to push you. This is meant to make you stronger, make you wiser. And the more you try and fight it, the more the more the universe or the force or a higher power will either warn you through, lucid dreams, or just give you signs, signals, whatever you want to call it, omens that you need to stop, you need to pause, and you need to reevaluate what you're doing. This is the mindset I've been having towards what my career path is going to be. And for the past 5 years now, bouncing around between labor jobs, maintenance jobs, construction jobs, landscaping jobs, I've come to a point now. I wouldn't say this month or today, but this beginning of this year where I hit a breaking point of I can't continue doing these jobs anymore. And I know this sounds very dramatic, it sounds very cliche, but that's the truth. I hit a wall of this can't continue. This is not benefiting my future. This isn't progressing me, and it's what's holding me back. And I've had opportunities in the past, which I've thought about for the past little while here. And most of those opportunities to start something like this channel, to voice my opinions and my life experiences, have been um, what's the word? I've procrastinated on. I've not been willing to jump in and create this type of channel. Even though I've had opportunities to, I've had a lot of free time to, but it's sometimes like if you get burned enough, if you get, if you put your hand on, the fire, so to speak, enough times, and you realize, you might not realize at first it's like really hot, but as you go closer and closer to it, the thing you think that, and I hope this is a good analogy. I mean, you can come up with your own, but this is kind of mine. Um, the closer and closer you get to that flame, thinking that it's gonna be, better for you, it ends up burning your hands after a while. And I've learned a lot through these jobs. Some of them, the one in particular, which I've talked about on this channel, I thought would turn into a career, which unfortunately didn't pan out the way I thought it was. But I've learned a lot of stuff from it. I've learned a lot of skills, a lot of leadership skills, a lot of things that I didn't know about myself and what I can do. And, being pushed to the limit, it really brings a lot about, it really brings up a lot about yourself that you probably didn't even know about, that, resurface. And that's what happened to me. But I can't go back to those jobs. I had a dream last night where this company I was working at from the beginning of this year, due to me having to go back to my parents after, the career path or job didn't work out well. Um, and, in this dream, I went back to this job that I've quit now, and there's nobody there. There's no one there. I went back, and the place was empty. There's no employees there. Nobody that I knew was there. It was just an empty field. And I woke up from that and I'm like, what is this dream really telling me? It's telling me, okay, I have thoughts about, I have doubts for sure about, you know, me leaving that position, that job behind. But at the same time, I went back to it in the present moment and there was nobody there. So, that in itself told me there's nothing back there. There's nothing back there. If you go back there, you've made the decision and there's just nothing back there. There's nothing back there for you. There's nothing back there for your future, for your career path, nothing like that. I know this video sounds a little bit, you know, intense, maybe, or just a different tone. But this is a lot for myself to look back on, as well as you guys to also learn from as well, that um, letting things go like that is the best thing. It may not seem like the right decision in the moment, but you will know sooner or later that it was what needed to be done. And as for what's ahead of me, um, it's still uncertain, but I can tell you this, that I'm already making a whole lot more progress now that I've been doing since the beginning of this year. A whole lot more. And I think this is going to cascade. And sorry, I truly, truly, truly believe it's going to cascade into great things. This channel could be one of them. This channel could also open up new different paths of connections with people, and that's also what I am in need of too. You know, just being here now. If I moved in here for the last 2 months, the surrounding area, I really haven't made any meaningful connections, and all my friends that I've met and all the connections that I've had, everybody's pretty much scattered away. So I'm in this moment now of trying to find like-minded people, and that's tough here. It is really tough here, and I don't think I'll find it here. And that's the push in me to venture out there via YouTube, via other social media platforms that I'm also thinking about. And yeah, but you will know that you can't go back to your old habits, your old ways, and your old career, whatever that might be. If you've decided to leave a career, it was for a reason. It was for it's that wasn't for you. That wasn't meant to be. It was for a short period of time or a long period of time in some people's cases. But you left it now, and you're on to better things. You're on to better things that align with your path, your true self, your true purpose in this life. Because we all have a true karmic purpose that we have to be here for, um, and that's just a fact. That's the question I asked my younger self as well when I was, I think, around 12 years old. I'm like, what's the purpose of me being here? I know I'm here. You know, obviously my mom and dad, did it together, and I'm now here. But there has to be a deep reason why I'm here. And yeah, so a little bit of a more of a deeper video than usual. Just some of my thoughts that I'm trying to convey to you guys. If you guys can relate to what I'm going through now, because these are career decisions that I'm trying to develop here. But in the meantime, obviously, this place that I have here, I have to put food in my stomach every night. Um, I have to pay the bills, right? So I am working still, but these contracts that I have, these jobs that I'm doing are just to pay the bills. That's just, I'm okay now if God or the universe wants me to build this career that I'm pursuing right now, and keep paying the bills and stuff like that, then that's what I'm going to be doing. And it does suck, because I would really like to be farther ahead now, but this is the right decision, and I know it. And hopefully you guys have made the right decision as well. If you've decided to leave a job or a career behind, it must be for a reason. You've thought about it, you've pondered it. This probably just didn't come out of nowhere, and you most likely just came to terms with yourself, and you've probably said, I need a change. I need to switch gears here. I need to change, my life around, which revolves me changing direction. And that's totally fine. That's exactly what I'm going through right now. It's not easy. You're not certain where you're going to end up, but it's all about making that step, right? It's all about making that step and not looking back, because if you do, you may have dreams, you may have signals saying you can't go back there, you can't, there's nothing for you there. That was my dream. There's nothing for you there at that last job that you decided to leave. Nothing for you there. So hopefully you guys can learn a little bit or thing or two from this video. And if you did, please drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos, guys. Peace.